Rightio, so what's up there guys? Welcome back to Digger Detecting. Welcome also to a Tuesday, and a Tuesday for me means a day off work. So that means a day out on the detector, and there he is there, sitting right beside me. So we're standing in the middle of the paddock right now. The road is right behind me, as you can hear, one of the main roads. So a bit challenging. There is going to be a lot of road noise to contend with today. However, in this paddock, originally used to sit a little 1850s bluestone cottage, and it pretty much used to sit right in front of me. It's very hard to see. I don't have a picture unfortunately. However, you can see this bit of a depression cut out, and then the hill goes back up to its original ground level. So where this depression sits right here is where the cottage would have been cut into the bank. So, and you can actually see some of the old rocks left behind from the old house, little cottage that was here. As I said, I don't have a picture, unfortunately. And you can also see some of the old foundation stones that have been laid in a straight line and still uninterrupted today, still sitting where they were originally laid, and they run all the way through. So not only that, this site has had a little bit of rubbish dumping over the years, in recent years, and there is a lot of bricks and rocks and just stuff, bottles and tyres and everything buried also in this mound that sits behind the cottage. So look, unfortunately it probably has buried a lot of the older stuff. However, mixed in between this might be a lot of old and also expecting a lot of new. And we're going to try and dig our way through all the rubbish and see what we can find. As I said, it's just bricks and rocks and bits of glass and bottles and fencing wire. There is everything to contend with here today. We are going to do the best we can and try and pick our way through it and see if we can't find and save a few nice coins and relics, and not only that, also a few nice bottles. Oh, there's a nice rusty old relic there. We might have to get the shovel for that one. So let's get back on the detector, because I was digging away for half an hour and I hadn't shot an introduction clip, and I thought I'd best do that and then keep on digging, as we've got our next nice sounding target right under the coil as we speak. So let's keep going. Before I do, let's get rid of this jacket as I'm getting a little bit hot, and then as I said, let's dig out that next target together and continue working this ground and seeing what we can find here today. So jacket is off. I feel a lot better too. There's a slight breeze that's just picked up since I've took the jacket off, or it feels that way anyway, and it's cooling me down. So nice next signal, 3031, as we dig our way through all the rubbish here. 3031 to me sounds like a rue penny. I don't think it's going to be a rue penny. For this site though, I'd more expect it to be an old belt buckle, maybe off a horse or maybe off a human, but an old belt buckle anyway. So, or something like that. What is that? That's part of an old hinge. There we go. How cool, how cool. That was a little bit unexpected, as you could hear. So that's not old, I wouldn't presume, and not too old anyway, with that silver plating on it. So really cool. As I said, we'll dig our way through our old trash, or through the new trash, and see if we can hit on the old. It's even got tapered screw heads there, so not too old at all. Anyway, little really cool target, 3031 on the Equinox 800. Let's keep going. So check that out, our next piece coming straight out of the ground. I missed him on camera, a 21 and a 23, or jumping up to a 23 there. We've got a little picture frame, a little gold gilded picture frame, and look at the twist in the metal there. Isn't that fascinating? I just love finding these old pieces. They are always ornate and just beautiful to look at. This guy's a little bit bent up and twisted. We will not try and touch him, and no doubt he will snap straight away. So one to put in the pouch very gently, very carefully, and also try and clean up with all the other pieces once home, and show and share. With the amount of gold gilding though on this guy, I'm certain he's going to come up amazing. So wow, that is awesome. And look at that, the sun just come out too, a bit of gold, and then the sun comes out shining to make it look all pretty. So awesome stuff. Let's fill the hole in, move you on to the next. Whoa, check out our next little find. What a bloody ripper. we have the little lead toy soldier. I don't know. I think he's a soldier. However, we need to clean him up a little bit. I was just sort of inspecting him and he is a little bit bent out of shape. And as you can see, he's missing his head and also his arm. And that's not very ideal if you're a soldier, is it? How are you going to see? How are you going to shoot? You've only got one arm and no head. Oh dear, that is so cool though. He looks like he's also wearing a bit of a skirt or something there. So maybe he is Scottish. And as you can see, the red enamel painting on his legs and his torso. That is just incredible, absolutely incredible. You don't often find the lead toys, you know, like over the years hunting, I've found a couple, even found a really cool old World War I nurse, which I'll throw up top left corner and give you guys a look. She is an absolute beauty and all intact and complete with the enamel painting still left on it. I can only imagine the kid was very sad to lose it. So like this piece, however, I dare say, missing the head, missing the arm, he was probably discarded. So once home, we'll clean him up, give him a better look, and hopefully I'll be able to ID him for future. So that is just a little ripper of a piece. So I love it, awesome stuff. Let's move on to the next. This sounds too good not to dig out together and give you guys a look. A 24, 25, 2 bars of depth. Tell you what, the day is changing too. I got the jumper off there before, the vest and the jumper. I took the vest off first, and then I still went away a bit hot, so I ended up taking the jumper off. So I've got the guns out, and the sun is not out to join me. It was, and then it's disappeared, unfortunately. So, well, I think we're going to get our next batch of rain in a second by the feel. Might have to put the jumper back on. Let's have a look what we got next. What is that? I tell you what, there's a lot of rubbish to contend with today. However, we are having a lot of fun digging through it and inspecting and IDing all these pieces. We've had quite a bit come out that I have not filmed or shared. However, they have been really interesting, ornate little pieces. So, like this guy, which I'm not quite certain what he is. He's all folded on the back there. Nothing too special to look at. However, on the front, he's got a bit of silver gilding. Let's see if we can clean him up that one last time and see if we can have a better look. So no, not really. Not too much better than what it was before. Oh dear, here it comes too. I'm just feeling those spits of rain, drops of rain coming on my arm, so that is okay. We've got the jumper over there, as I said, but if we move quick enough, who knows, we may not need the jumper. We may just be able to move in between the drops of the rain and keep on going and stay dry. So let's continue on and let's work our way up around the hill to that real rubbishy pile and see what other things we can find. We are going down to our next target. She was an El Deepo too, very deep. Let's see what we've got. Oh, what is that? That's glass. That's quite an ornate piece of glass too. It's actually part of an old handle coming up out of the shovel there with the dig. How cool is that? Wow, as I said before, everything is so pretty and so ornate coming from these old sites. I really love it. So let's now get the pinpointer in, because that was not our target, that bit of glass. That just sort of come up and surprised me a little bit there. And we're right on him. Let's have a look what we're actually digging down to. Oh, that to me looks like a door handle. I can see the round outside edge of it. Let's give you a look. I reckon that's what he's going to be. Focus, there he goes. I reckon that is part of a door handle. That is the knob part, the turning part. Let's dig around behind him. Try not to hit him. We have already dug one door handle out today. And the one other time that I have been digging at this site, I dug a lot more of them too. I dug about 5 or 6. My father was actually digging here with me that day. He comes out every so often and he absolutely thoroughly enjoys seeing all the old coins and relics coming out. And me and Dad were digging along here, out the front here, and we scored a heap of buckles and also a heap of door handles. Here is one that we've missed, so that's cool. That is a big boy too, and he's broken at the back. I was just looking to see if we had any more in the hole, which I don't think so. So reason why this guy was probably discarded. He was broken. Anyway, really cool piece into the pouch. We'll also take that bit of glass with us too. Remember, I've been saying for years now, remember I am also going to make a mosaic tabletop one day. I'll get to it, maybe with all the pallets, the wood pallets that I'm bringing home. maybe I can start making a frame or something like that, and then finally start my mosaic table, because I have a ton of glass just like that coming out in the hole. If I see it, I save it, and take it home, put it in a jar. So anyway, we're nearly up the top of the hill, and we're working around, or my idea is to work to the top of the hill, work this area, and then work around that very trashy dumping point where they were dumping all the rubbish over the last 100 years, but most recently they've also dumped some rubbish there. So as I said at the start of the video, a bit of old and a bit of new, we're just gonna have to work through it and see what we can find. Nice high signal on this next guy, a 29 and a 30. These are the sort of signals that always get me excited too, because they could mean coin, they could mean token, they could even mean a silver. Basically though, also they could mean an old belt buckle. I just love the old belt buckles too, and I found a ton here, as I said before, hunting there with Dad a couple of weeks ago when we first touched base on this site, and it's just incredible how many belt buckles and door handles we hit on just walking out into the paddock here for about half an hour. It's like they've just thrown them all out. Anybody would think we're in a rubbish dump. More so found towards the front, towards the road though. So, the rubbish dump is sort of behind me. You wouldn't expect them to be all scattered out in front there. So, unless they had been accidentally lost, not discarded, which is what I presume. So, there would have been a turnabout, roundabout driveway there too, I imagine, once upon a time. For the horse and carts, to be coming in off the road, and they would have sort of come in and sort of pulled out again in a big roundabout driveway, like a carriageway. So, very cool, very cool. Let's get down to this target, because I still, I didn't hit it, did I? Oh, I hope not. I was gonna say, I'm still waiting to see what it is. We're gonna go deeper. Oh, it's quite a big target. I hope I didn't hit that, because it seems like it's gonna be mixed in with a bit of rubbish, and it could be something cool, could be something gold. Let's go around the back of him. Oh, still sounds like I'm hitting stuff. Maybe there's a heap of stuff in the hole there. Heap of rubbish and glass, and oh, there is too. What were we thinking? That's just a bit of lead. That's nothing cool. Oh dear, it's just a massive chunk of lead. There's still more glass down in here. So what I like to do though, if it is rubbish, I just like to pick out the glass. As I said, I will be building a mosaic tabletop one day when I have more time, which is not lately. So nah, that's about it. I've got a bit of wire in there. We'll pull him out also. Why not? If we see it, we save it, or if we see it, we take it away with us. So trying to put the wire in the pouch now, he won't go in. We'll knock out the bit of lead. We'll throw him in the pouch. The lead, the copper and the brass, I don't mind digging it at all, because let's face it, if you sort it, save it, or save it and sort it and then scrap it, you can also make money off it. And over the years, I've probably made a couple of $1,000s off all the rubbish that I've discarded, easily, probably about $1,000 a year. So just, out in the shed, I've got a couple of containers, and all this rubbish gets tipped into one big container, and every time I'm a little bit bored or I've got 5 minutes free, it doesn't happen very often, I go out into the shed and I go through, pick out the brass into one container, or brass and copper into one container, the lead into another container, and the alloy into the other. So brass and copper, lead, alloy, the three things that I worry about saving and sorting and scrapping. So, and as I said, it pays off. A few tanks of fuel to help get you to that next site. Oh my God, can you see that? Wow, we just were digging out a target, an 18. I flicked the dirt out. I got the pinpointer, found the target, flicked the dirt out really quickly, and out popped that little stone. Oh my God, I don't know if it's real or not. I don't really want to touch it or move it. I think there's something underneath it. Let's have a look. Let's move him out of the way, just very gently. I don't want to go disrupting the soil too much. Remember, our little diamond stone is sitting up the back there. Let's see, we've got the pinpointer on. That's our target right now. Let's see what's coming out with it. Not a ring. Oh, what? A bit of chunky folded up lead. Why is that stone there though? What is that doing there? Why is he there? I have no idea. Did he come out of a ring? What else is missing? There's something else going on. That is so weird. I pulled it all out and I seen the stone and it stopped me straight away. I thought, wow, let's put the camera on. And I didn't expect it to be a bit of lead sitting underneath, of course. There we go. Let's throw the lead in the pouch. As said, we do save, sort and scrap all that. Let's see. Still got the pinpointer on. Let's see if we've got anything else happening here. Get the lead out of the, remove the lead out of the situation. Did we just get extremely lucky and just find a diamond by itself with no ring, with nothing attached to it? Did we just eagle-eye jack a little diamond stone? I think we did. Isn't that incredible? Oh, I just pushed him into the dirt. Let's zoom in there. Let's give you a look. As you've seen, or you've seen exactly where he was, and then we moved him. We have not wiped him clean or touched him at all yet. Let's turn that pinpointer off. Don't let go of the diamond. We'll lose him in the cow poo. Let's sit the knee up. Let's wipe him off very carefully. Oh dear, that's going to be worth millions. I don't think it's going to be real. You just never know though. Oh, look at the cut to it too. That is just beautiful. Let's give him a bit more of a clean up. Said I really need to carry that toothbrush on me, don't I? Or a little bit of water. All my gloves are dirty. Let's put him up there for a sec. Let's see if we can take the glove off without losing him. Geez, I did that easy. I thought that was going to be a lot harder than what it looked, or what I said. One hand. Oh no, we lost the diamond. There he is. It's all right. Don't panic, anybody. I kept my eyes on that one. That's for certain. Let's clean him right up. Oh dear. And here comes the sun too. We're going to be able to see straight through our diamond if we hold him up. Let's have a look. If the camera will focus. Oh, how pretty. It's getting right up to the sunlight there. That's very hard to see, but very, very cool. Let's bring him back down because the camera has trouble focusing on stuff like that. Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. How did we manage to spot that? Just keeping our eyes open, but you know, there's no metal in this obviously. If I had not have flicked that lead target out of the hole together with that little stone, there's no way I would have seen that. That guy would have been just pushed back into the hole and discarded and lost again forever. That is amazing. And look, I don't think that's real. I'm not saying it's not real. I'm no gemstone expert. If anything, I should probably ask the father-in-law about this guy. However, I will have him checked out. I've got I'm friends with a local jeweler here in town, and they do all my jewelry work and what have you, and any special pieces, rings or what have you, I generally take into him and he helps me ID. I remember a ring there I found years ago and I just thought it was a junk ring. Someone on Facebook said, mate, you best check that out just to be sure. Turns out I sent it away to my mate, and then he sent it away, I should say, because he could not determine exactly what it was. So he sent it away, and long story short, at no cost to me, God, he's a legend, at no cost to me, he told me that in actual fact it was white gold, so not a junk ring at all. It was a silver ring with a gold inlay through the center, and it was white gold with other gold. So as I said, I'm no jeweler, I'm no expert. Just incredible though, and considering I thought it was a junk ring, you've just really got to check these things out. So into the pouch. Boy, geez, I hope he went in there. I hope we didn't lose him. Into the pouch. We're going to zip that pocket up a little bit more so we don't lose him, and let's move you on to the next. Wow, that was exciting. We've got our next piece straight out of the hole. Well, still in the hole, but the hole's open anyway. He's coming out of the hole now though, and he is an old shaver head, a wonderful old shaver head, which is probably made in England. I knew it. These are a fascinating piece, 1800s right through to the 1900s. I'm not sure about the manufacturer Gem, however a lot of them were made in Birmingham, England, overseas, so, and then brought over like a lot of things that we had. Whoops, we broke him. A lot of things that we had here in Australia were also brought over, mainly brought over from England, I should say. There was not a lot of manufacturing taking place early days, so everything needed had to be supplied. So very, very cool. The old shaver head handle, or the old shaver head, I should say, missing the handle. However, I'm certain we've got a handle. I'm just trying to match him up with one hand back again. However, I'm certain we've got a handle at home. We may be able to screw onto this guy and put him on display. So what a ripper of a piece. Who knows, if we keep digging, we may even find the handle in the hole still. Let's keep going. Right, so we've made it to the top of the hill. Well, nearly. we're nearly the king of the hill. We've just got to get up there in front of us now. But what I was saying there before, a bit of old with a bit of mixed in with new. There it is. There is a bit of our new. We've got a Rosella, a sauce bottle lid down there. Probably what, 1950s and 1960s old Rosella. So really, really cool. He'll have a screw top on him. In actual fact, we may have the bottle sitting over the back here. It looked like a sauce bottle to me. I'm certain it was a sauce bottle. It may even be a Rosella. Let's go have a look, just to kill the curiosity and show you exactly what this guy was off. Look at that. I think he's got a batch number on him too. A Rosella, and then 48C batch. There we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, he does too. A little bit of embossing on the base there I've seen before. Let's give him a clean up. Oh, I was correct. Look at that. We've got Rosella, preservatives and manufacturing company, company limited, or it says from the start, the property of Rosella Preserving Company Limited. Right back around again. So very, very cool. That is probably the old bottle lid that went on the top here on the old Rosella sauce bottle. So very, very cool. We best put the lid in the pouch, because if we, as I said, if we do dig it, we take it with us. So I'm not going to go leaving rubbish laying around, even though we're on top of a rubbish pile. But the whole idea of me here today is to unearth and retrieve, basically, or unearth and take away with us what we find. So, and that's okay with me, because that is all part of detecting. And as I said before, you sort and save the scrap, you make a bit of money as you go. Rightio, so we've got our next target. We did just get up on top of the hill there. However, it's not really the place that we need to be. There's really no targets on top of there. No targets that we want anyway. And I imagine that a lot of them are buried a lot deeper down. So the hill sucks. We don't want to go up there anymore. We want to be down below. And as I said, we've got our next nice, sweet sounding signal. A 30, 31, 32, oh hell, a lot of numbers, 29, 3 bars of depth. So good sounding signal, and a bit of depth means to me that it could be something dating back to the old cottage there. I remember the 1850s cottage sat right in front of this hill, so we're pretty much we're pretty much sitting behind it. That's a really great indication right there. Actually, you can see this cutout wall running up. Follow my finger. So from the corner here, the cutout wall runs up and then runs across, a little bit down below, sorry, it runs across, all the way across there, over to that hill, and then runs back along here. So this back wall, what I'm saying, this back wall, I imagine the cottage would have fronted the road there. This back wall would have been the back of the cottage. So very cool, very cool. Just love it. Now, where was our target? What were we doing? There we were. I got sidetracked, didn't I? Let's see if we got a coin in this. Not really expecting to find a coin today. Like, I know there probably is one here. However, I'm more after just seeing what's here, really. The coins and the relics, a bit of everything, Doesn't really faze me what comes out of the ground. That's rust. Let's put him away. We still got the target in the hole there. I thought it was just hitting on the rust then, but it wasn't. Let's have a look. Nice high signal. He could easily be a coin. Did not sound like one though when we were targeting him. Let's have a look. Maybe. No, it's not. It's coin size. It's not a coin though, it's a bottle top. Damn. It's another bottle top straight after the Rosella. This guy is nothing special though. A dirty old beaten up bottle top. A good sounding signal though, and as I said, it could have easily been our coin. So let's continue on. There is targets everywhere right here on top of the hill, and not on top of that hill, that sucks, but on top of this hill. So let's continue on and let's see what else we can find. So moving through some of our last targets there now, guys, and we have popped out what we've wanted all day, the little belt buckle. Oh, it's about time you showed up, because I dug about 6 or 7 or more of you guys last time I was here. There we go. So Unfortunately, he did too. I was going to say, unfortunately, that metal piece is going to break straight out of the center, but the rest of the surrounding buckle will always stay intact, being that they are brass. They're just an amazing old piece, so I love finding them. As you see, the rusty item in the center, the pin always snaps off, so we'll get rid of him, get rid of that little bit of rust, and this is an item that can go through the tumbler and get cleaned up for future. So everything here found today will also be staying with the landowner if he would like to keep it. That's just how I roll, how I work, how I operate. And look, you can't keep everything. Over the years, you know, I found so many of those buckles. I think I'd have to be up over 200 or 300 of them now, probably more, probably 500. How do you keep them all, and what do you do with them if you do? So it's nice to be sharing and showing the items coming out with the landowners, and if they want to keep them, I am all for it. So it's not about keeping stuff, it's about unearthing it for me, unearthing it out of the ground for others to enjoy. So let's keep going. Who knows, maybe we might find a few more before we get out of here today. A 15 for this next target. I don't normally dig 15s, however, a 15 to me at an old site like this, I've always got to dig it if I find one, because it could be a gold sovereign, a gold half sovereign, which ring up at a 15 on the Equinox 800. Full sovereign rings up at an 18, so keep that in mind, and if you see them, make sure you dig them. We got the little lead toy soldier at 18 there before, and he was well worth the dig, and now we've got another bit of lead at a 15, so not ideally worth the dig. However, as I said, he could have been a half gold sovereign. You've got to check these things, you really do, because if you don't and you walk past a 15 or an 18 all day long, especially out at the old sites like this or in the gold fields, you will not sleep that well that night, thinking about all the gold sovereigns that you probably could have walked over. So anyway, really cool. Let's keep going, find a few more targets, and then we're out of here. There he is, our last target. And while we dig him out, I have a great idea to tell a really funny story, something that happened to me whilst I was at work the other day. The confessions of a courier, look out. There's some interesting things happening in my job. I tell you what, going to people's houses all day, you see some very interesting things, like people getting out of bed at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, half naked, answering the door, funny projects and funny things taking place in people's backyards. It's always an interesting job. I tell you what, no day is ever the same. So the other day, what happened was I had a delivery and I pulled up to the driveway, and both double gates were shut, weren't they? That's not very handy. So instead of moving the gates and opening them up, driving the van through, shutting the gates again, because no doubt there's a dog in there, basically I thought, well, we might just try and put the package in the letterbox. It had ATL on it, which means authority to leave. So I'm doing my job correctly if I leave it there. If I take it away with me and it's got ATL on it, I can technically, that's not me doing my job properly, following instructions. So anyway, long story short, I shoved it in a letterbox. It didn't look too nice, too good. I didn't want someone nicking it before the owners got home. So I thought, what the hell, let's go for a walk. We opened the double gates. The house was set a good 50 meters back from the road. Instead of driving the work truck in there, let's just go for a walk up to the front veranda, and we'll place it on the front veranda away from the road where people can't see it, so it doesn't get stolen. Let's just say first, I did know there was a dog in there. I did see a dog. And oh my God, I think we've just nailed our coin. Not only a coin, it's a pendant. I can see a ring. Let's finish the story first, otherwise I'll forget it. Basically, I could see a dog in there. I walked my way in up to the house with a package in hand. That dog gave me a false sense of security, didn't he? He did not even show me that he was there. It did not even look active. And just laying on the porch there watching me, I thought he might have even been chained up. However, as soon as I got about 10 foot away from the front veranda, he barreled off the front step. A big Rottweiler too, mind you, a full-grown adult Roddy. He barreled off the front step and I shit myself. I'm a dog person, I'm an animal person all round. I've got a big American Bulldog at home. He is a big dog. I'm a big dog lover. However, this big dog scared the hell out of me, and I stood my ground. I started yelling and, get away, go away. No, telling him off. Not my dog. I didn't think he'd listen to me, and he come barreling up to me looking to bite me. Only at the last minute did he back off. So thankfully I quickly turned around. I thought, there's no way I'm making it to the front doorstep now. I'm not game enough to, and what the hell am I even doing in this yard to begin with? I had a bit of false sense of security there. As I said, that dog led me into his trap. So we walked out of the yard slowly. Every time I turned my back, he'd come for another go, and I'd have to turn around and yell at him. But I did make it out of the yard with all my limbs attached, as you can see. Leg one, leg two, arm one, and well, the other one's holding the camera. So, oh dear, I got back to the van. Let's get to that coin in a minute, but I'll just finish saying, I got back to the van and I thought, you bugger, you bloody had me then, and you knew it. You let me get all the way nearly to the front door until you showed any signs of life or activity or any signs of aggression. He led me right into his trap, the bugger. So never ever trust other people's dogs. And look, I know that more than anybody, really. I should know that more than anybody, being a courier. However, I just had a bit of false sense of security there that day, and I made the mistake. So, and I nearly paid for it. There we go. It was a funny day though. I got back to the boss and I told him all about it, and he said, "Oh, you funny bugger." What a classic. So, oh dear, we have a stunning pendant. Oh my God, look at that. Look at that. No coins for today. However, we're going to be finishing off with a absolutely stunning Coronation pendant there, a 1937 Coronation pendant. So let's give them a quick clean up very quickly. I do know where some water is too now, so we're going to walk over and just touch on the water over in the corner there. We'll give this guy a real quick clean up, and we'll come back and give you a look, because I do not want to just rub him on the pants and scratch and damage him. So wow, what a piece and what a story. Awesome stuff. Rightio, so we've got him as clean as we can for now anyway, until we get home with the toothbrush and the water. So I don't want to go doing too much damage. We just want to give a very light clean to show you guys a look. However, as you can see, it says commemorate their Majesty's coronation, May 12th, 1937. And when we flip him over to the backside, we have King George there and Queen Elizabeth faces on the front. Very hard to see at the moment. We need to give him a bit more of a clean up, as I said, once home. You have to be very careful though with these gold gilded metals, because there's well, you know, you be too rough with them. Once you strip the gold gilding away, it's gone and lost forever. So what I generally find is toothbrush and water very gently, and you can even go a little bit further than that and use a little bit of bicarb soda with water, and basically clean up the gold gilding a little bit further. So shell fly, oh, the flies are driving me crazy today. They're very friendly, flying all over my face, making it very hard for me to hold the camera still. Sorry guys. Wow, that is an exceptional piece. We're going to put him on the shovel there. I'm not going to place him in the pouch. Look at it shine. Look at the gold gilding shine in the sun. I just love it. I'm trying to show you, but it's not focusing. That is so cool though. So put him there on the shovel. Go away, fly. They're just all over me today. And we're going to shut that hole up, and as I said, that is going to finish us up there, that pendant. We're not going to put him in the pouch for him to be damaged for everything else. We'll put him in a top pocket and keep him safe. But that is about it for us today here, guys. We've had some fascinating treasures coming out, mixed in through all the rubbish, the old and the new. We have not even dug over where our jumper was, which I sort of put the jumper there to mark so I could get over and dig a few bottles. So look, we've got a lot of work to come back here and do in future, and the landowner is a lovely bloke, and I'm sure he will allow us to come here anytime. So very cool. We best not forget our pendant. We're going to turn the detector off, pack up now, and get home and show you a look at everything coming out today. And I tell you what, we've got a pouch full, so we'll see you there. Right, so welcome back there, guys. Welcome also to about 3 weeks on. We're living in the future. That's how long it's been since we actually went out and did that last hunt. Since then, we've had the Digger Detecting event over the weekend, which was a huge success, and I cannot thank everybody enough. Just amazing turnout and amazing people and amazing 2 days. So, as I said, been about 3 weeks on since we did that hunt. We also have laid out in front of us the hunt that Dad and I did when we first touched base on this site. First turned that detector on and seen what would come out of the ground. So it's been a little bit, but as I said, 3 weeks on, here we are shooting a conclusion, and we're going to run through both of them very quickly. So first off, off, we'll start with what Dad and I did. You can see all the rubbish up the top there, nothing too spectacular to look at. We've got the old clock plate backing over the side there, a little cog pulley, what have you there, part of the old tie rod, maybe off a cart or a car even, early type car, the old curtain rail, a little bit of pottery, glass, what have you, nothing too exciting. So moving down, we'll zoom you in there and we're going to run through these very quickly. We have all the buckles that Dad and I dug, and Dad just loves seeing all this stuff come out, and I love having him there enjoying it with me. So a few door handles. I thought we dug more than that. I thought we dug about 7, and we've only got 3. I made a liar of myself, didn't I? Also, the piece that I'm holding now is the old keg tap, or internal piece of the old keg tap. I probably should have grabbed a keg tap out for reference. However, this is the inside piece. You can imagine the tap handle up the top there, turning him, twisting him on and off. The beer would have flowed through the little holes there, each side, flowing that way on, and turning him off that way. You can imagine the keg tap laying here. As I said, I should have probably grabbed one for a reference, sorry guys. Also the old shaver handle, very, very cool. The old sheep tag, the old musket ball, which has hit something pretty hard. Very, very cool. This one sort of threw me a little bit there. Basically, when I first found him, I thought, what is that? That's a huge bullet. However, not a bullet at all. You can see that little coil of wire coming out. So I do believe that is an old plumb bob to help when they were building, getting everything straight and level. So we've also got the old horse rosette. Let me bring you in a little bit there. The lighting is not the best in the shed. It's a pretty hectic rainy day outside too. Not nice sunshine coming through the laser light there above. Just a bit of overcast. So the old horse rosette, very delicate, these pieces. It's not made of lead, it's more almost like a cast, and you can see a face or a head there, a little bit of writing or even detail around the outside. The more I touch it, the more it perishes, so we best not be too hard on that piece. Moving up, bit shaky there, sorry, let me grab the camera better. Moving up, we've got the end of the old curtain rail, very cool, very ornate. Over to the right hand side we have a part of the old tobacco pipe. Now these are like a little silver collar, and you can see some of the basically hallmarks there, made in England, no doubt. I have not done any research to that, however, made in England, and part of the old tobacco collar joining the wood pipe together. So little picture frame, I do believe, nice ornate little picture frame there, and the only coin for that hunt for that day with Dad found in the front yard up near the homestead, and not even in the paddock that we're hunting there in today's video, or in the video that you just watched, is the little 1891, as I said, half penny there, and as I said, the only one coin to be found on that property thus far. So we'll get to that in future, and I'm sure we can find a few more. I'm waiting for that first silver to pop out. Now, what we did on the second visit, let me take a breath. And as I said, so what we did on the second visit, and as I said, this was shot about 3 weeks ago. So that was a bit over a month ago, and this was about 3 weeks ago. And with everything going on, I just have not had an opportunity to get to the conclusion and finish shooting and sharing this video. So as I said, we've got all the trash up the top, and nothing too spectacular. Looks like a little tag, that guy there. I got a bit excited thinking it was another coin. As I said, we've only found the one thus far. So lots of lead everywhere, big chunks of it, which will basically save sort and scrap for future. And we'll just speak quickly, this chunk of lead right here, let's put the two pieces together, and let's start off with the little diamond. These two pieces were found in the same hole, and the only reason I found that little diamond stone, that's what I'm calling him anyway, is because of that chunk of folded up lead. And that was pretty typical too. You find a lot of these bits of lead, and they're folded up in that way. A lot of builders would save them and melt them down, what have you, even reusing it. So let's throw the lead away. Now I've dirtied the bench now, haven't I? Let's now have a look, and we'll bring him into the light a bit. Let's have a look at this little stone. I've cleaned him up a little bit more under the water. I have not had him tested or anything like that. And to be honest, it was a miracle that I even found it. I wish I had the camera on properly. However, basically upon coming across that little lead piece of rubbish there, I flicked out the rubbish out of the hole, and then out popped this wonderful little stone. Just amazing. And if you keep your eyes open, these are the sort of things that you'll find when digging hundreds of holes every day. It's bound to happen, and that's how I come across a lot of my marbles and what have you. So Let's put him down there. Let's go through these pieces very quickly. Very cool. I'll have that checked out for future. We have the old Lesney little tractor there. We have the old toy lead soldier, which I do believe is Scottish. You can see a little knapsack on his front there, and it does look like he's wearing a kilt. I think I said skirt there the other day, or a few weeks ago. It's not a skirt, it's a kilt. There you go. He's missing an arm, missing a head. I did clean it out with a toothpick there, and he's got quite the hole, hasn't he? And I did try and bend him back a little bit. However, his feet started breaking off, so you've got to be very careful. So that's where we're going to leave him. We also have a King George VI, Queen Elizabeth pendant medallion there. May 12th, 1937, Coronation medallion, and these were handed out to school kids, basically to celebrate the coronation there. So very shaky. Sorry guys. Moving through, we've got some buckles. We have some old plates. This one would have been affixed to the old horse leather. No doubt a bit of horse tack. So as you can see, the pins there, where it would have been punched through the leather. So very cool, very cool. The old brass plug, very heavy, very cool. Once again, some other little random miscellaneous pieces. The old spigot tap handle, which would have been used by the farmer, turning off and on the tap. Unfortunately, he was broken when he came out of the hole. And look, I know it looks pretty fresh. However, when it came out of the hole, it actually had dirt embedded in it. So look, look, it may have been just waiting, ready to snap in the hole. Maybe a bit of dirt had set in there over time, over the last 100 years. However, such a shame, such a shame. I absolutely love the old tap handles there. So part of the old clock backing. Once again, let me change hands. And what I think is also what I've found over the years, and I've seen researched by others and sort of commented on, I think is part of the old umbrella. You can imagine this piece sliding up and down the center shaft, and you can imagine little wire prongs coming out from each end, or each of those little notches there, and you find them in all different sizes, so it makes sense, all different size umbrellas. So next piece is the old window pull down handle, so you would have put your finger through. We actually had these as kids growing up at home, and you put your finger through and pull down the window. So very, very cool. We also had what looks like a very crude musket ball. I'm not quite sure. He is very, very crude. Maybe it was someone's first attempt at making one, so very crude. Also the old shaver heads, two different ones there. An old shaver handle, which look, I don't think would have been the one. He wouldn't have matched. So a part of the old clock part would have had little cogs and what have you in there, springs. The old window latch, or latch hook I should say, a part of the old piece of the door handle. I'm talking too quick, and I'm getting confused in what I'm saying. I do believe that's what he was though. That would have been sort of what went through the door and twisted and turned both door handles, the inner and the outer. So a couple of more door handles up the top there. The old cork or twist thread cork, very cool. I have not done any research on these pieces. Unfortunately, I've been too busy. And the last item is the little picture frame, the little gold gilded picture frame there. So can anybody hear that rain coming down too? Crazy, crazy. Lucky we're doing this in the shed. So very cool though. I love the old ornate pieces like this, especially when they're gold gilded. And look, I did not want to bend this guy back either. I just think, leave it the way you find it sometimes. Sometimes you do more damage by trying to clean them up too much or bend or straighten these pieces. So put them on display the way they are. Let's face it, they are metal detecting finds, so they don't have to look perfect or brilliant. People respect and appreciate them for what they are. Just the way they are. So anyway guys, that is about it for us today. It is a bit of a hectic rainy day, so we can't get out with the brand new 900 today. However, I'm certain I can find time this weekend and get out for a detect and put it through its paces more. And the 800, look, that's probably about the last hunt that it'll do for a while. I'm not saying I'll never use it again. However, the 800 is going into retirement, as we now use the 900 for future videos. So, and I'm excited to see what it can find. Those two hunts are there with the 800. What can the 900 now find at this very same site? So anyway guys, that is about it for me. I'm going to get inside now, clean up this mess, and go do something else. So cheers, happy hunting. We'll catch you on the next one.